I recently showed you the magazine Peasant Woman from the Soviet Union and how using magazines like this geared towards the general population can be a really humanizing source of information. Well, today I have Robotnica, which is the working woman. So this magazine, first and foremost, is one of the oldest published magazines from the Soviet Union. It was first published in 1914 and initially pushed by Krupskaya, Lenin's wife, and one of his sisters, but it's one of the most popular women's journals. So right away, the cover of this magazine is beautiful. Of course, it has the name of the magazine, and it's from February 1927. So we open it up, and right away the first thing that catches my eye is this notice about the 8th of March, which is Women's Day. And this is a little blurb saying that women this year are getting out of work 2 hours early on the 8th of March. Now the next page is how women should be preparing for the 8th of March. This is interesting. Does the countryside need industrialization? So it's more of a thought piece, an argumentative point here. What the working woman should know about the Red Army in 1927. Now this is interesting. This is the woman's plight of Italian working women. And this is, again, pre-World War II, so there's a lot of information in here about how their only printing press is a fascist one. So even more contributions about working women and their conditions abroad in other nations. I just really like this illustration here. This is about Koreans who were moving to the Soviet Union at the time. We're already almost to the end of this woman's magazine. This is the first time they've mentioned motherhood. These are like tips to help mothers. This is about like new technology and electronics that help in the house as well. So it's cool to see that from the 1920s. Some more interesting tools from the 1920s. A little bit of arts and crafts. Here's some needlework. This is my favorite piece from the entire magazine. It's on bride napping in Dagestan. The illustration is quite interesting. I'm a big fan of folk costumes from the Caucasus, so I love this illustration. But not only does it mention the issue of bride kidnapping in the North Caucasus, but it also mentions the punishments within the Soviet Union if someone is caught doing something like this. This is like a reading list. It's telling women what they should be reading. And then the very last 2 pages, this and the back, are about clothing. And so I appreciate that this isn't a vanity-focused magazine, but they do include some interesting illustrations of 1920s clothing in the Soviet Union. So what do you think about this 1920s Soviet women's magazine? I think it's really great how much they're encouraging women to read and work and be educated and know what's going on not just within the Soviet Union but around the entire world. Also, apologies in advance if you can read Russian better than me and I misinterpreted some of those headlines. I'm only okay at the language.